Hello, it's Eclipse is back again. In this video, I'll be talking about Telltale games and what I think about them. They are a great storyteller. They're great, but I'm gonna go through a few of the games that I have here that kind of relates to what I'm trying to say. Is that they tell great stories, but I'm gonna start with The Walking Dead first. The Walking Dead. Um, I feel like it's like a linear type story because like they want to tell you a certain story. They don't let you make choices like Until Dawn, The Quarry, um, Doc a Dark Pictures Mythology series. They want you to lead to a certain place. Like for an example, Lee, he dies no matter what you do. You can have him cut off his arm. You can have him not cut off his arm. You can have him put him out of his misery, like shoot him. You can either do anything, like not shoot him. He dies no matter what. No matter what, he has the same types of appearances after. He either has a flashback or a dream. That's it. That's it, really. Another thing, determinate characters don't really get like treated well. Like let's say the only one that kind of has an impact is Carly and Doug. Carly and Doug, they do something to help you in the second episode, and they do quite a bit. And in episode 3, depending on who you saved, you have to tell everyone, and you have a choice who you want to tell. Is that Lee killed before the apocalypse? And if you chose to save Carly, she talks to you about this, and this is a determinate choice. If you don't have her with you, this doesn't happen. Like things like that. But then most determinant characters, like if you chose to save Ben, he doesn't really have much. He defends himself with Kenny, and what else? That's it really. He dies it right after. He does nothing throughout the thing. Like he kind of complains about Lee's arm and all that when he chops off his arm. I play this game so many times, The Walking Dead, that I know every single choice and impact, and this goes to this and all that, and this leads up to this. I play this game too many times. You all know it as of now, like if you watched my channel this whole time. But I can go with season 2 now. If he chose to save Alvin, he literally just says one sentence. Literally just one sentence, and he dies on a chair. Once you actually save him in the second episode, he dies in the very next episode. Doesn't have a single line. He he is asked to leave, and he's dead. Same thing as Nick. He he can be saved in episode 2. He barely talks in the whole episode of episode 3. He literally has like one or two lines, and that's it. And he gets shot in the shoulder, and he's not even in episode 4. All he does is just run with Luke, and he gets shot, and he dies later on a fence. It doesn't matter. Like they want to lead you somewhere, and that's the way of telling the story. It's a linear story. Like it's leading to somewhere that's not up to you. It's the same thing as Kenny and Jane. That was a really big impact at the end of season 2. You had to save Jane or Kenny, and the very next episode, they both die in a flashback. They don't really have that many lines. They're just there. They talk for a little bit, and then they leave, and then they die. Well, Jane leaves and all that, and then that's the like she kills herself. But yeah, Kenny, he dies in a car crash. So that happens. Then I can go with season 3, the rest of season 3. You can keep Conrad alive throughout the whole season, but does he have any lines? Is he even there? Does he even have an impact? The only impact that he has, actually no, he doesn't even have an impact. He's just there that he's alive. And season 3 is crazy that's like telling you that you're wrong even though like they basically spit in your face basically the whole game. Like let's say you choose who to save, Trip or Ava. No matter what, the one that you save dies, and the one that you didn't save stays alive. and they die in the very next episode. What's the point of that? What's the point of that whole choice and all that and saying like, oh hey, like I'm gonna be killing the one that you chose to save, but yet you have the one that you didn't save and did not have an impact, and they die in the next episode no matter what, and they only have one line. That doesn't really make sense. It's like, why have a choice there if it's not gonna have an impact? Depending on who you chose and all that, it has nothing. Let's say like another thing. The best season of this game was season 4 with choices. Yes, there was choices that was up to you, but it was more of an open world type choice. Like let's say you made a choice to save Lewis and Violet. They don't die when you choose to save the other. They they're still alive, but you have the consequences of not saving them. Lewis loses his tongue, and Violet loses her eye. And with that, I always choose to save Violet. I always choose to have Violet with Clementine and all that because I don't really like Lewis. I think he's annoying. But thing is, it it's the same thing. It's leading you somewhere. That that's the end of this conversation. Let's talk about The Wolf Among Us. There's a lot to talk about this one, but Batman's gonna be off to the side because I never played this much yet. But I do need to make a video on it. And The Wolf Among Us. There's a lot to talk about this. There's there's someone that you can save in the beginning of the game, but he's not in the whole season. Like he shows up a little bit in episode 3, during a funeral. I think it was 3 or 4. I forget which one. But he's barely on the game that much. And it just kinda shows that that he's just alive, I guess. It doesn't really show you much on what happens. It's just like, oh hey, he's alive. That's it. He doesn't have an impact. He's not even there. He's not even doing anything. And it's a really great story. I can't really say much bad about this. I can't really remember what to say about this that's bad. The ending, I'm still wondering about the ending because in the comic books, in the end of this game, you're talking to Narissa, and you can go either after she walks away, you can either go after her or not. But in the comic books, you see what's behind that wall. Like she keeps walking forward, and there's a guy right there with like a knife against her throat. They didn't have that in the games though. In the comic books, they show you that happened. But what about the games? They want you to lead somewhere and all that, and they kind of knew that they weren't really sure what was gonna happen with the second game because all this side stuff was happening because they were making so many games. Batman, Game of Thrones, you can see it right here. You can see it on that first photo. You can see Game of Thrones, Tales from the Borderlands, The Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead Season 2. I can keep going. They had so many games, and they were juggling all this stuff and all that. And even they had Minecraft Story Mode. Will they even show Minecraft Story Mode? These are all the games that they had. The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, Batman, Jurassic Park, Walking Dead, Back to the Future, Pokemon, Sam and Max, Game of Thrones, Guardians of the Galaxy, Walking Dead again, Minecraft and all that. Then there's Walking Dead Michonne. That's like a side story. And this is all it wasn't really that good. Like the older games were okay. Back to the Future was pretty good. Because they had Bone, they had CSI, they made games on CSI, they have Law and Order, they have strong bad games for strong people. They got I can keep going. They had all these games, but yet when they made games, people would rather watch a gameplay, and when that happened, like when that happens, whenever they watch gameplays, they lost their money, and people weren't buying their games anymore. So instead, people were watching their gameplays, and they got bankrupt. Now, I'm uh, I'm about to be done with the video, but by the way, I'm gonna start having a conversation about the new Telltale. They have The Wolf Among Us 2, which I gotta talk about. We gotta talk about this. Um, I have to end the video with this. We wait for this game for over, let's say, 9 years, 11 years now, and it goes through cancels, reboots, rewrites again, announcement trailers, cancellations, another announcement trailer, a cancellation again. Now, now we got a announcement trailer in like 2020. Yeah, like it was 2020, 2019. And we're still waiting for The Wolf Among Us, and it's been almost 5 to 6 years. And we're still waiting on this game since the announcement. Like, yeah, there's nothing on this game. And whenever they say that they're working on it, they just say that like silence is a valid option, that we're still working on it. Show us something. Show us a screenshot that you're working on it. Show us like some behind the scenes. Show us anything that you're working on it, because now we don't believe you anymore. Like we don't have hopes anymore because this game, like we've been waiting for 11 years. Yeah, it says 2025. The last time, like the last game that came out, does it say the year? Yeah, 2014, 2014-15 was the very first game, and since then, we've been waiting and waiting for so long. But yeah, that's the conversation. I'll see you next one, and bye.